They guard our stuff, guide the blind, and turn our houses into homes, and yet offer so much more. Both dogs and cats are being called upon to alleviate the stress and anxiety of hospitalized patients and others who need a little puppy love to brighten their day.
The world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away.
Hi, I'm Sammi and I'm Alyssa Buchanan, and we are here to explain the different types of therapy than just physical therapy.
Our dogs have helped us in numerous ways, by saving our lives as well as helping us whenever we are in a bad mood. During this documentary, we hope you learned about the ways of pet therapy and how they affect people mentally as well as physically.
Coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then.
Why did you choose to start this organization?
I started Therapettes of Indiana because I had an accident where I was hit by a drunk driver running a red light, and I had a dog, a Karen Terrier, who was about 6 to 8 weeks old, named Molly. And they would bring Molly to the hospital, and I'd have to get up out of bed, and I'd have to go potty her, and I'd have to feed her, I'd have to take care of her, so they would let her stay at the hospital with me. So when I finally got through with rehab and everything else, the doctors saw how Molly helped me, so they asked me to start helping Molly. Had Molly helping the other injured patients. And from that, I decided I would start this Therapettes of Indiana, and we started with one dog, and now we have 26 dogs, and work throughout the community, both in nursing homes and with the military, with children of the military who have lost family members, also at libraries, and they work every day at St. Vincent.
Is there a specific training qualifications the animals have to meet?
Yes. All the dogs we usually get between the ages of 6 to 3 months, 6 weeks to 3 months. And then they immediately go into the hospital. We carry them on like a baby bag, and they ride on our chest, or they ride on our back, or in a wheelchair, a wagon, and they work alongside one of the older dogs. And we want to expose that animal to as much noise and distractions as possible. And so the older dog is actually mentoring the younger dog. After about 3 or 4 months, then that dog goes into behavior training with our behavioralist and our trainer, and then learns all the obedience to behave, how to sit, how to stay. And then after 4 weeks of that, the dog comes back and begins working in the hospital full time, and actually starts the therapy dog training, which is we train on site.
What put you in the position to use pet therapy?
I was diagnosed in 2006 with psoriatic arthritis, and had a pet to help me when I walk. I walk every day, and that's how I became involved with pets for walking purposes.
How long are your patient visits?
Yeah, as long as they need. As long as they need that pet, is as long as I stay. If they just want to hug it and kiss it, whoever it might be, and that's good enough for them, or they might want to visit for 15, 20 minutes. We're in no hurry, it's quality of time.
A person I job shadowed with on Tuesday her name was Marty, and we went to the 5th floor of St. Vincent Hospital, which is located on 86th Street, and we visited. The 5th floor is kind of a neuro floor, so we saw patients who just got out of a coma. We saw another one who's been in there for quite a while. I think she said 3 weeks, and she was just having some nerve issues and couldn't really get up and walk around. We also saw a patient, I think we went to her room at 11 o'clock, and she was having spine surgery at 4 o'clock that same day. But the first patient we walked into, I don't think I'll ever forget. Her face lit up like a child on Christmas morning. She was so excited that the dogs came, and she was actually one of the rooms that was requested. So they knew to go straight to her room, and she was so excited. She held the dogs, they played with her, and She explained how she had 2 dogs at home, and these reminded her of them, and she loved it.
What is the special connection between humans and animals?
That's a great question. I think there's an actual natural attraction and bond between animals and humans, and they've done research to show that actually the presence of a dog will lower blood pressure in both the dog and the person. And there's also a hormone called oxytocin that is considered a positive hormone in the body. And they've also done research and studies to show that by petting a dog, it actually raises the oxytocin levels in both the human and the dog. There's also what's considered a stress hormone called cortisol, and they've also proven that it causes high blood pressure and anxiety and stress the same way that the oxytocin levels are raised when a dog and a human are interacting. It actually lowers the cortisol levels in the body, which also is involved in pain and those types of things. So.
Not only does pet therapy help hospital patients, but it can also help children when they first start reading. Reading to a dog helps lower blood pressure and makes the child feel more secure at themselves because they don't have to prove anything to the dogs. So if they mess up, they don't become flustered.
Pals win at adventures. Ice King. All he wants to do is marry princesses, and he thinks stealing them is okay.
During this documentary, we hope you learned about pet therapy and how it's used and how it helps patients.
Pet therapy has been proven to help the healing of children and adults. Next time you need help, whether that be physically or mentally, give your animal a try and see if they make a difference. Another girl we had actually said that she would much rather have pet therapy than her pain medication every day. And I thought that was pretty touching. So, I mean, if that doesn't explain enough in this documentary, then I don't know what else will.
I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world,